Okay, so another video. And I'm happy to say I should be returning to a normal schedule soon enough. So, alongside with life, I've actually been focusing most of my efforts on this other side project. Why? Because why not? So I was helping my friend Nosferatus. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at pronunciations. I'll link his channel. He's basically the guy that is he's the guy that made most of them advanced modern armors and actually, put effort into designing complex armors in Trailmakers. So, I helped him. I went ahead and did all the testing for lasers, discovered a whole bunch of new stuff. I will not be going much into it because that's what his channel is for, not my channel. My channel is mostly for recoil tech and smaller side projects like this. Anyway, so apparently pins, like anchor pins, have insane health, even when you do account for the fact that like their volume per complexity is kind of bad. The sheer health per complexity cancels it out because of just how good it is, and it's like the only thing in the game that can effectively stop lasers so far. Again, stuff is under development. I want to keep it a secret until he posts because, that's his entire thing. I feel it's a little bit rude on my end. But in the meantime, behold, my mech. So I already posted an earlier version of it without the anchor pin armor, but now that, he posted his first video on it, just a progress update, not just talking about some smaller things which you should watch right now. I'll link it. I will have the entire list of damage in the pinned comment in case you want to see that. But again, go to his channel. Trust me, he explains it a lot better than me. But other than that, um, yeah, okay, that's all the channel messages out of the way. Now for this actual mech. The mech itself can take a lot of damage just head on. Its biggest problem so far is that the servos break really easily for some reason. They have like a really low health value. So if an explosion randomly chooses to hit it, then it's pretty much crippled. But with the sheer amount of armor in the way, it could take a lot of hits before going down. It can take a lot of damage, but it's specifically designed to only take damage from the front. All the armor I placed is on the front. For turret controls, it was a little bit hard to fit them on my keyboard because I had so much other stuff happening on it as well. So the turret controls aren't really used much in combat, but they're there when they are needed. It has forwards, backwards, and strafing. I originally had logic blocks for like a turning thing as well, so that I wouldn't need to use gyros, but gyros just ended up being the more efficient option. For movement, so the problem with movement with this design is I didn't sync up the logic timers. So when you would start doing the forwards walking animation and then start doing the sideways strafing animation, the sideways walking animation, those two things won't align. So what you do is if you want to go from going forward to going forwards and to the side, diagonally, you would need to let go for just like one frame before applying the new set of directions that you want it to follow. It gets really natural the more you use it, but just whenever you want to change directions, like whenever you want to switch from W, S, Q, or E to any other different combination of those, you need to let go of everything for just a fraction of a frame. Normal turning, because it's gyros, it doesn't use the walking animation, so feel free to turn while using any of those controls without needing to worry about anything. It's got one laser cannon, because if you look at the damage charts, they're broken, like ridiculously overpowered. And two cannons. Why? Because why not? Explosions are big and they're loud and they're cool, but feel free to swap them out. And a little smaller gun mounted at the back of the head of the turret. When walking, sometimes it'll sync up wrong and it'll start bouncing up and down. Let go of all controls, let it settle down before starting to move again. Otherwise, it'll start breaking its own feet. So this version it was a trade-off between speed and stability. I could have had it really stable, no sparks, no braking on normal movement, and it could just go very slowly, but I could fire while shooting stably and all that. I, on the other hand, chose to give it a top speed of 90 kilometers per hour. At one point, it could hit like 110 kilometers per hour, but as I added more armor, thickened some stuff up, changed some stuff, the final result ended up closer to like 90 on perfectly flat ground at optimal circumstances. In practice, it goes closer to 70 kilometers per hour. Um, and yeah, that's about so the feet can actually take very large falls, and the frontal plate, because it's anchor pins, if you're jumping off of a cliff, you can stick your frontal plate to a side of the cliff and basically negate most of that fall damage. You'd also stick yourself to the side of the cliff permanently and become basically a turret, but hey, trade offs. It could still walk with damaged feet, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The rest of the video is just combat footage. Have fun. Link in the description for the creation.